In this video, I'm going to be going over the process of making the latest short film on my main channel. Check it out if you haven't already. I'm going to be explaining the process of how I made this video from start to finish, so if you want to hear my annoying voice for several minutes, stick around. And if you don't, then just click off the video, because I wouldn't want to listen to myself either. Alright, let's get this shit over with. The idea of the short was taken from a cancelled movie project I was going to make, which was The Unbeatables, also known as Plush Vengers. The real fans will remember. That whole project could be a whole video within itself, so I'll try to keep this quick. The movie was about Blocko, Lee, and Fonzo. It was sort of like a team-up movie type thing. There was going to be stuff, but never happened. Each character would have been introduced in the movie in their own special way. Lee would have been in his room filming, Fonzo would have been on his way home from the train, and Blocko was going to be late for something. Now that's where the idea came from. The only real difference was that Blocko was going to be late for fixing a car with his dad. His father would be furious on the phone, telling him that he promised to help him fix up their car. Not a date. But for the most part, this was going to be Blocko's introduction in the cancelled movie. It would be him chilling at the park, and then somebody called him, and then it leads to a chase scene. It kind of goes to show that even if a project is cancelled, you can still take ideas from it, I guess. Once I had the idea, I wrote a script. But since this short film was mainly dependent on the visuals, the storyboards were a bit more helpful. But the script was still necessary because it helps me stay organized, so I wrote it out anyway. Before I go into filming huge scenes, chances are that I'm gonna draw it out first. Not always, but most of the time I try to do it. I drew out the storyboards while I was at school, just doodling and trying to get a basic idea of what I needed. I mean, yeah, sure, I could have been studying or paying attention in class or doing the work, but I mean, who cares, man? I was making a film. I organized the filming days too, so I wouldn't be overworking myself and I could work at a timely pace. When the day for filming arrived, I packed up my stuff and I got to work. Some of you may have noticed that a lot of the shots were done using a green/blue screen. One new technique that I've been using for a while now is shooting green screen elements outside, using the natural sunlight. It makes keying much easier. It's also much better than having to set up a bunch of dumb, stupid lights in my room and making a freaking mess. Plus, it's also really important to match the environment that you're compositing your characters into. Now, I unfortunately have the displeasure of living in New York City. Just kidding. One thing I do hate, however, is the breezing wind and cold temperatures. Some of you may know that it gets cold as hell out here during this time of year. I had to sacrifice my health to film this short. The noble sacrifices I make for your entertainment. Also, here's a funny story. Take a look at this background plate that I was filming. Notice how it cuts abruptly? Yeah, that's because I fell. Not a fun day. Probably wasn't smart to wear my high tops instead of my sneakers or running shoes, so that's one lesson learned. I also dropped my camera, but luckily it didn't get damaged. After I fell, I got up. Then I noticed a lady and she asked me if I was okay. My hand was pretty badly damaged and I'm pretty sure that I was bleeding. But the show must go on, so I kept filming. Also, here's a kind of fun fact. It was Thanksgiving when I fell. Yeah, I was filming on a holiday. Screw Thanksgiving. It's not real. Who cares? Editing this short was actually really fun since I was excited to experiment with new effects and filters, combining green screen and live action, and also trying to change the speed of the video to make it look really cool like I was zooming by. I was really proud of a lot of the shots that came out of this. Color grading was a huge field day for me. Music and sound also played a really big role in this short film. I have so many sound effects and songs downloaded. There are so many versions of this short that I edited with different music. Here's a listen.
Jeremy, I've been waiting for you for 1, 2, 3, 10 minutes! Where are you? You didn't forget about our date, did you? Jeremy?
It was really tricky to decide which song I wanted to go with since they all fit really well in my opinion. There were so many songs that I'd never used, but I went with Tick Tick Boom by the Hives since I felt like it was kind of fitting because the whole theme was being late and they even say too late in the song several times and it's, you know, so can't go wrong there. Well everybody, that brings us to our final conclusion. That was the making of Blocko is Late. Kinda. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope I didn't annoy you too much with my annoying voice or uncharismatic personality. And yeah. So be sure to check out the short if you haven't already. Be sure to give it a like. Comment down below in the short what you liked about it, stuff like that. And yeah, share it around, share it with your friends. Spread it around please, because I worked really hard on it and I'd appreciate it if you guys showed it some love and support. And I will see you guys later. And please let me know in the comments of this video if you liked the behind the scenes and me talking about stuff and me going through the process of what it took to make this video. And who knows, maybe you can comment what video you would like to hear about and the process. So yeah, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, whatever, I don't care. See ya.